Hi, my name's Sydney Peterson. I'm a senior here at Tippecanoe Valley High School. I am our FFA chapter's president, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the Farm to Fork program is. So the Farm to Fork program is basically a way for our school to get more involved with agriculture and to help benefit our school. So as you probably know, our school has steers outside, and those steers are going to become freezer meat for the different schools in our corporation.
Hi, I'm Mallory Bowers, and I'm a senior here at Tippecanoe Valley, and I am your chapter's vice president for the FFA. And I'm just going to talk to you about what we kind of do with the cattle. We get them during the fall, right before school starts, or even a few weeks into school, and they stay out there in the pasture, as you've probably seen by the football field. And his animal science classes go out, check on them, make sure they're healthy, and everything's doing okay, and they're getting the proper nutrients. And then later next spring, or this coming spring, we will butcher them and they'll become freezer meat for next year's school year for all the different schools.
Hello, I'm Mr. Jones, and I am the agriculture instructor here at Tippecanoe Valley High School, along with Ms. Slagle, which is also one of the agriculture teachers here. I got here 6 years ago at Tippecanoe Valley, and there was a man named Mr. Schreiber that came to me as soon as I got here and talked to me about raising some cattle here at the school. And that's how our Farm to Fork program got started. They actually were talking about it in one of his econ classes that said they were talking about how that they could either get better, try and get higher quality food here at school, and really even at home. And so they came up with the idea of raising some cattle to go back into the school. So my first semester here, that's what we did, is we started building the fence and the shed that was out there. My ag constructions class did. Once we got all the fence in and the shed built, went down the road here and bought a round bale hay feeder, and we got a grain feeder that holds a little over 2 tons of feed. Then we also installed an automatic water that the cows can drink from. Once we got all that done, we called a former alumni here at Valley. His name was Dale Miller, which raises cattle over by Silver Lake Claypool area. He was able to hook us up with 4 head of cattle for us to start out with that first year. And we got them in here. And then my animal science class or advanced animal science class, whichever one I have at the time, those kids are really the ones in charge of them as far as checking them every day. Try and send a couple kids out each day. They're in charge of making sure that the water is running right. In the wintertime that it's not frozen. It does have an automatic heater in it, but just to make sure it's working well. They also have to check the feeder, make sure that there's plenty of feed in there, that everything's moving down, that they have all that they can eat. They check the hay each day, and then probably one of the most important parts is they're observing the cattle to make sure that there's no sickness or health problems with them. So that's the kid's main job in it. I usually spend a few days in class then. We talk about what we bought the cattle for, how much we got to spend on feed, how much we could get for them if we actually took them to the processing plant and were able to sell the beef. And we realize, the kids start realizing how much more effective or cost effective it is when you're able to raise your own cattle. People always ask, why do we have 4? Well, we have 4 because we have 4 school buildings here in our corporation. So when those animals are finished out, usually around 1,350 to 1,400 pounds, they go up to Martin's butcher shop up in Napanee and get processed into hamburger. And each school gets 1 entire steer worth of hamburger. So they can use it to actually make hamburgers during lunch. They can use it to make taco meat. They can use it to put in chili, whatever they'd like. And so that's kind of the basics of the Farm to Fork program, is that we are raising our own food here in a sustainable way. All of it stays right here in our school corporation, goes directly into our lunch program. And obviously we know that it's a much higher quality product than what we're going to get from another food supply chain. So We've looked at a few other things. When I had horticulture last year, we have what's called grow towers, in which we are able to grow fruits and vegetables completely soilless. It's kind of a hydroponic situation where we just add the nutrients into the water, which flows over the plant's root system each day. Now, that's something where we wouldn't be able to supply the entire school corporation or even the high school enough food for a year. Maybe a week is all we would be able to get. But once again, being able to show kids how that they can produce their own food in a pretty simple manner, an effective manner that's extremely healthy for them. So, well, we look forward to continue to do this in the future, maybe doing some expansion on adding some other projects to it.